Just some thoughts that were flowing through my mind. Recently, I've been watching this show, Night Agent, right? And in like the first episode, so the idea is that there's this guy, he's part of, I guess, the night action team, working in the White House and the FBI. And his job is to sit in like a sealed off room in the basement with a black phone waiting to answer it, and it's different agents out in the field that are part of the night action team that is like a covert, operation or whatever, right? But that's besides the point. I've been watching this show, and in the show he gets a call. I believe it's his first call, but the lady that called, she is in a tight situation, very scary, lots of questions running through her mind, being kind of chased by this person wanting to hurt her, and she's hiding in the house. She has the night agent on the phone, and he's kind of like walking her through it, like, step by step, how to move through it, and just guiding her through the process, trying to also help her keep calm and get as much information as is able to get. But anyways, the guy's in the house, she's hiding, right? And he knows that there is a very good chance that if law enforcement doesn't get there in time, that there's a chance that he will find her and try to hurt her. And the indication was to fight like hell, like whatever you do, just don't stop fighting, like put everything into it, don't freeze, don't allow him to just like take you, but like fight, and it just kind of got me, as I thought about that moment in the show, and then it kind of got me on this like train of thought. And also the idea in a lot of different movies that have been presented where women are captured by men for whatever reason it is, captured and held hostage, right? Kind of just left at the behest of this person that has taken you, and very often in the movie there comes a point where the woman is able to escape and they're able to fight, and it's that feeling when you're watching that moment that, like, yes, like yes, fight your way out of there, get free, like do whatever it is you need to do to get free, and just thinking of those moments and how when we watch those moments, right, how good it feels when the person that has been held captive, right, when the person that is being pushed down, suppressed, oppressed, when we see them fight and like regain that freedom, right? We can almost put ourselves in that place and just, we feel that relief and that empowerment within that moment, right? So it's just kind of thinking of those scenarios, right? And recognize that even in there's a movie I saw as well, or was it a series? I can't remember, but I think it was Black Phone. Yeah, Black Phone. And I believe there was a moment, and it was like the same thing, the same premise. When you get that moment, you have to fight, right? You cannot be, it cannot be relaxed and just allowing. You have to fight, right? It's necessary. And that was kind of a message in that movie as well. And it's kind of recognizing that those characters, right? Those women, those children, those people that have been put in a place of, being under the force of another, those are Palestine, right? Those are the people in Sudan, in Congo, right? Those are all the oppressed people. Those are the poor. Those are black and brown oppressed people here in the United States, across the globe. Those are indigenous peoples who have been ethnically cleansed, right? That's who those people are representing, right? Allowing yourself to recognize that, right? That we cannot expect that oppressed people are not going to fight for their freedom, right? We can't expect that oppressed people are going to follow the guidelines of their oppressors' idea of what a fight for freedom should look like, right? And I think it's an important thing to consider, to think about, I just think it's important to recognize that, and the idea that there is a wrong way to seek out freedom, just even thinking back to October 7th, with Hamas, right? And this is not to say that there are no criticisms to be held with how certain entities operate, across the board. There are always going to be things that we can do to improve, things that we can acknowledge and address, but it doesn't take away from, the overlying issues. But like looking at October 7th, with Hamas, which, people are still kind of continuously just going back to, the idea that that's not excusable, right? We have to ask the why. Another thought I was having earlier was just, I was listening to this song, it's Thieves and Police, in the Streets, right? And I was just kind of thinking of that concept and the idea that, a lot of times we're not looking at the why, why people make the decisions that they make, I think there's, if we, really look at it, I think there's evidence, I'm sure, to demonstrate that when people have what they need, right, I can guarantee that crime would go down, right? When you look at the why people make certain decisions that they make, right? It's out of fear, it's out of need, right? It's out of lack, right? So when you have so many that are oppressed and that are denied access to their basic rights, you can't expect that at some point they're not going to demand better, and I think we here in States right now, looking at, you know, all the things that are happening and how calm people just are. You know, the way the media talks about it. My dad wrote his little blog kind of talking about, you know, the media's representation of all these things happen, kind of normalizing it, you know, making it seem as though it's a normal thing for billionaires to kind of be taking over our government, you know. And the thing is it is a normal thing, because that's kind of how it's always been. The 1%, the ruling class, the big corporations, they have been the ones that are guiding the hands of the politicians. You know, they, you know, every couple of years give us an opportunity to vote and make us feel like we're really, you know, a part of this game. But really, we're just here to uphold it. You know, we're here as pawns to be played just as much as the politicians. You know? I forget what I was saying. That was kind of going off on a tangent. But would definitely love to have this conversation, you know, like live, like, you know. I think these are things that we need to be talking about, you know. Yes, with the media's normalization of all these things that are happening. And the Democratic Party, right? Like, for real? Like, this is how we stand up against fascism? Yeah, no, it's because they're all a part of it, you know? They are here to kind of create this illusion that there is a side that's working to fix things, but they're not doing shit. You know, they're not doing anything. They're just kind of holding up this facade. You know, they're like, it's fake. You know, I can't see it as real. It's a farce. It's a show. You know, it is an illusion that they are trying their best to keep up, you know, but it's falling, you know. And we, the people, have to wake up and recognize that, right? We have to wake up and see that all of that, you know, is bullshit. We have to get on our P's and Q's. We have to prepare ourselves for all the things that are coming, you know. Like, you can feel it. The energy is there. We can see it. We're looking at it happen in front of our eyes, right? And it's scary. It's scary to see. It's scary to think of the things that are to come. It's scary to think of what our children are going to inherit, right? Which is why it is so important that we are having these conversations, that we are talking about these things, that we are organizing, that we are looking into different mutual aid groups and seeing the work that they're doing and supporting in whatever ways that you can, right? Learning some new skills, learning how to plant food, right? There's some things that we need to be doing right now, that we need to be preparing for, you know. And I'm not saying that, you know, everything is just gonna collapse and everything will be calamity and whatever, but like, these are things that we need to be passing down to our kids, because gradually, as this system falls down, we have to be prepared. We have to be knowledgeable about the different things that we can do to sustain ourselves, right? Because we're not going to be able to rely on these people, these politicians, to fix things for us, right? We can't rely on them to support us, right? They are beholden to the 1%. They are beholden to the billionaires. When Elon Musk stood in the White House Oval Office, he was just saying the quiet part out loud, because that's where they've always been, right? This isn't new, right? We're just able to see it now, right? And we have an opportunity to take action with that, you know? But yes, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You know, let's talk about it, right? What are you thinking? Disagree, agree? Like, let's talk, you know? Let's help elevate each other, you know? We can't just, like, there's a lot that's happening. We need to be processing through it, intellectually and emotionally, right? Especially emotionally. Like, that's where we really need to start. Yeah. We need to kind of fortify ourselves, fortify our minds, our hearts, our souls, to really take in all the things that are happening right now. Oops. This is my exit. Oops. Not gonna let me through. Thank you. Gratitude. But yeah. Whew. All right. With that, I'm feeling complete.